Welcome back to another episode of the Raven Brotherhood. I'm Philip.
I'm Brian.
And we've been absent for about a month now. We apologize for that, but we've had a lot of stuff going on. Vacations and life in general. So we are back by popular demand.
Are we? Yeah, all 11 of them.
Yeah, 11 subscribers now.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about today. Brian wants to go over THACO, which sounds boring, and it is, but Brian thinks it's an interesting topic, so we're going to do it. We're also going to talk about our trip coming up with Geekapalooza,
which you all will get to see a little bit of next week.
Yeah, we're going to film during the trip, so that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Also, I got my cards graded, and I want to show you some of those, just because Beckett was useless, and is still useless. Don't ever use Beckett grading. And I'll show you who actually did the work, and I'm really glad to get this done.
Yeah, did a good job.
Yeah, we got a few things to talk about. Now, before we get started, we have unfortunately become quite popular on the internet and very, with 11 subscribers, it's just almost overwhelming. We're really excited about it and appreciate all of you. Yeah. But with that comes sponsorships. We got to have people want to sponsor the channel now, and we have to take a break to just have this advertisement. I know it's annoying, and they got it so you can't fast forward through it. You got to just kind of do it. So we're going to go through that. We'll be right back. We apologize for the break, but here's a word from our sponsor.
Okay, you ready? Ovaltine. Have you ever had this stuff? Why do they call it Ovaltine? They should call it Roundtine.
Brian, you're not George Costanza, and this is not Seinfeld. That's the wrong script.
Sorry.
The true sponsor is Row Books, which publishes my books. This is my first one, A Witch is Born. Brian will put up the link to my website at the bottom of the screen here. So, again, we're not going to talk about the book today so much. We're going to talk about other stuff because we got a lot to talk about. But please, this is the whole point of the channel, is to promote this a little bit. My books don't sell, a lot like I'd like them to. They're costly. If you like the channel, maybe you like the books, right?
Yeah. Subscribe. Give us a thumbs up.
Yeah. So, the Raven Brotherhood, sponsored by Row Books. And now back to our program. Okay. That was good. I think that went well.
Welcome back.
First sponsorship, yeah. So first thing I want to hit real quick are the cards. I think episode 2 maybe, I mentioned that I sent some cards to Beckett Grading, and they were high-end sorcery cards. And when I say high-end, I mean they're rare. I had curios and sample cards. And for anybody who plays or collects sorcery, you understand what that means. Sorcery is Brian's favorite game.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, Brian, we all love sorcery, and so do you.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So, what I did, I had this sent to Beckett, and Beckett sent them all back. No explanation, no effort, nothing.
I remember that.
Yeah, so...
How rude.
What I've done with these, I sent them to a place called Premier Card Grading. And the cases look like this, which I think are just as good as Beckett's anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You got the subgrades up here, and then the total grade. And they're just as tough on their grades as Beckett is, if not worse. I mean, it's tough getting a good grade from them, which I find frustrating because you're spending the money to do it, but you're also, when you get a good grade, you got something, it's real. Mm-hmm. They don't just give out 10s like some of these companies do. Anyway, you got a nice little case. They put them in these plastic sleeves for you. There's like a wrapper around this, which is cool.
I think the cases are very good quality. They're kind of heavy, I mean, they're
not bad.
They're really nice.
But this one's a sample card, and it says it up here, sample. These are actually quite rare, and I'm glad to get them, graded finally. I have a stack of them here. I'm not going to show all of them to you, but they look good. I'm very happy with Premier Card Grading. I did want to show one thing. There's one card that I've never seen another copy of it, Brian. Never. I don't know from my estimation, maybe 8 exist, but I'm not sure they all have the same text as mine. I've seen different text vaguely. But anyway, I don't know how many are out there, but I know this card's very valuable, very rare, and it's an iconic card, and it's Eric's Curiosa. I showed it on video too. This card was in alpha, and that's it. They didn't put it in beta, except for a Curio version, which is very rare, but the main set doesn't have this one card.
Uh-oh.
And so it's very popular. It only came out in alpha.
Wow.
So this is what alpha looks like. Let's see if we can read it. You know, it has cost, what, 1 up there?
I think it says 1.
And then it has a text box that says you got to tear this card up. So
Oh, wow.
it says, rip Eric's Curiosa to pieces. Draw a card from your collection. So it's interesting. So if somebody actually plays this the way you're supposed to, you just rip it up anyway. So maybe somebody did. Maybe there's less of these than there really are, you know. But Brian, if you can hold that for me, that's alpha. The one I have that I'm proud of is that sample card. And the sample cards of sorcery, they had those before alpha came out, and so a lot of these changed when alpha eventually came out. So this one says, when an avatar moves here, that avatar's owner draws 3 spells. Destroy this Curiosa, sorry. And it costs 3. So you see how it's just totally different. You can hold them up together, Brian. There's some glare there, but, you know, this one that I'm holding is the sample card. And I think there's one of maybe 8 of these that exist. So thanks to Premier Card Grading for doing this, actually taking the time to learn what sorcery is and to provide a good service. And it's not just the service there, the final product, but their communication was awesome. Customer support, night and day. Beckett.
You know exactly when your cards are coming back.
Yeah, and Beckett just doesn't care. They don't care about you. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. And I spent a lot of money with them over the years, and I'm not spending another nickel. And by the way, Beckett, this batch of cards I sent, in case you are listening, maybe Beckett's one of our 11 subscribers. I spent over $3,000 to get this batch of cards done. That's how many I had.
Damn.
And I would have gladly spent it with you if you'd done your job. Instead, Premier Card Grading is my new company. But, you know, the customer service is spot on. You know, they would contact me. If they were a day late, they'd tell me, say, hey, we're trying. We're getting things done. And, you know, I'm happy with them. They did a good job, and I'll continue to use them. So that's the cards. I wanted everybody to see that. I finally got this thing graded. It's authenticated. It's a real sample card. It's not counterfeit. It's real, and I can proudly show that now. So that was the cards. We want to talk a little bit about Geekapalooza coming up. We mentioned that in a former episode also, Brian. You want to tell them what that trip is?
Geekapalooza is where we take a lot of our friends that have the same interests as we do, playing card games, board games, things like that. And we get together and we spend a whole week at this cabin. It's real beautiful scenery. It's right next to a river.
It's nice.
I mean, you could fish out there if you wanted to. But it's absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. It's a good time just to get out and just do geek stuff, and that's exactly what we do. We have a tournament. We play Magic the whole week. We have one off week, which would probably be Tuesday, which is probably one off day. I'm sorry, one off day. That's probably when we will record. Introduce you to some of our.
We're hoping we can interview some people, our friends.
Our geek pool, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they'll be willing to get on camera with us. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that's the plan.
No.
But we'll have some releases from Geekapalooza, hopefully. That'll be fun. We always look forward to that trip. I mean, it's a whole week of drafting, and it's just, I love it. I could do that all year round, I think.
Yeah, it would be fun.
But our old motto for Geekapalooza was, what was it? 6 guys, lots of cards, no women. Geekapalooza. And that sounds like fun. Then just leave a comment down there. We'll tell you more about it, But anyway, we got that coming up. We'll have a few videos next week for that.
Yeah.
And now to the meaty part of the show. Brian is stuck on 2nd edition, and I am too. And one of the things that happened, because we've tried the other editions. I've tried 3, 4, and 5.
And when we say we tried, we gave them an honest try.
Yeah. 3rd edition, we literally could not figure out some answers. I remember those like height differences and stuff, and it was dumb. I remember,
and the artwork was not all that great. I mean,
no,
the older artwork was so much better. It was more like realistic, versus what they were coming out with.
Yeah, the artwork from second edition I think is the best, but we're biased. That's what we played all those years. But
well, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
But third edition, the rules sucked. They were terrible. I know they came with 3.5. I had lost interest by then. Fourth edition was a tabletop game, which is not D&D. We use miniatures. I got them all over the place here.
Yeah, we do.
But we don't make it a tabletop game where you got to move 3 spaces and stuff. I mean, that's dumb. No. So we didn't like fourth edition. Fifth edition we've tried also, and we just haven't liked some of those aspects. So we've given up, and we're stuck on second edition. But with that comes the tried and true THAC0 system, which people don't want to do math. I understand that. They don't want to strain their brain to hit something. I think 5th edition, the higher the armor class, the better, which makes sense. But we'll just explain THAC0.
In the easiest terms possible.
Yeah.
It's not hard at all. You just got to keep the basic down.
Yeah, you don't need a calculator.
No. Yeah. THAC0, 2-hit armor class 0. So this is a mechanic in second edition AD&D. Every character that we make has a THAC0. Fighters have THAC0, thieves have THAC0, clerics have THAC0, and not everybody starts off on the same THAC0. Right. So it's
let's explain why this came about.
Okay.
This is a first edition player screen. When I was a dungeon master way back when I first started, 14 years old, this is the screen I used. All right. Set that up. You couldn't see my adventure, and I tell you the stuff that goes on. Got all my little charts here.
Mm-hmm.
One of the interesting things, this is first edition. I started playing a few years before second edition came out. But first edition, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to see this, but up here, Brian, are these tables. So if you had a fighter in his first level, you have to look at the table to see what it took to hit something with armor class 3.
Yeah.
So you'd reference it and figure it out. And THAC0 did away with these tables. Now you don't need these for second edition. So if you're ever interested in playing second edition, it's easy.
Yeah, I know we're going back in time a little bit, but I think this is where our D&D roots come from. So,
well, if you ever want to play second edition, we're the people to contact. Again, just let us know if you ever want to play, because if you're in Virginia.
Yeah, if you're in our area, that'd be great.
Yeah,
we're always taking in new players, but
so THAC0, Brian, how do we calculate this?
Well, it's not as hard as people think it is. To say if 2-hit armor class 0 for a fighter, if he's double specialized, and I know that's another word I threw out there at you, but just take us at a word. If a fighter at first level has a THAC0 of 17, and in second AD&D, the lower your armor was, as far as in a numeric value, the harder it is to hit you. Mm-hmm. But to raise it up, the easier it is to hit you. So 2-hit armor class 0 for a fighter at first level would have been 17. So if he would need a 17 to roll his opponent, if his opponent has a 0 armor class. Mm-hmm. But let's say if his opponent has a 3 armor class, what do you need?
14.
14. You just
do the math.
You just deduct it. That's all you got to do. And now, watch this. What if you had a THAC0 of 17 and you have a foe who has an armor class of -3?
20. Gotta have a 20 to hit.
20. Now, in our world, 20 always hits, no matter what your THAC0 is,
right,
or no matter what your armor class is.
Yep.
I don't care if your armor class is -10, and that can happen in second AD&D, because we had characters like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was amazing. It was great. Mm-hmm. But our characters were pretty powerful too, so we were going up against a lot of stuff, and THAC0 really came in handy when it came to figure out if we were going to kill these things or whatever.
Yeah, Brian's not good at math. We'll just be honest here.
Ask me what 2 + 2.
What's 2,000 divided by 87?
Does finger math still work?
So that goes a little bit easier, once you get used to it. It's fine.
I think it is. It is for us, because this is what we've done for 40 years.
Yeah. And that's the hard part, Brian. If you have a kid who's 16 years old playing 5th edition, they don't care about THAC0. I mean, they're not going to go back and learn.
No, I don't.
It's just a different world.
And I hate to say it, I really don't know exactly how they do it in 5th edition. All I knew is after we tried to play three episode, edition 3, 3rd edition, and 3.5, whatever, we were just so lost in it, we just didn't care.
Yeah, lost interest.
But they could, if they wanted to, is leave out the A and the O and just write THC, which happens to be one of my favorite ingredients.
Brian.
Oh, sorry. 2-hit character, whatever. But I like the THACO system. It's because I'm accustomed to it, and so are you and everybody else that we play with. It's not that hard.
So what's the point of this video? To say that 2nd edition gets a bad rap because of THACO?
I think if I remember correctly, that's what I heard the most when it came to complaints about AD&D.
2nd edition.
What's the THACO system?
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, when it came to the saving throws in AD&D, I can give credit to 5th edition. I always give credit where credit is due. I think 5th edition did simplify the saving throw with will and what was it? Will,
there's like 3 different ones or something.
And dexterity and something. And it was, and everything that you do in the game is going to be determined by, if you're going to get past a spell, you need to roll against your will. If you need a dexterity check, you need to roll against, whatever the saving throw was for the, whatever they called it, for reflex or something.
You don't know 5th edition, Brian. You shouldn't be talking about it.
You're right. I shouldn't. This should be illegal for me to talk about it. But anyway.
So Brian likes the saving throws, 5th edition. I don't like anything about 5th edition. So we'll leave it at that. THACO's not so hard if you ever want to go back and try 2nd edition. I think that's the whole point.
Yeah, and like I said, if you ever get a chance to play with us, we will take you step by step on, and really we'll make it easy. It's not that bad at all.
I don't think anybody's going to contact us, Brian.
Probably not.
Okay, let's clear that up. So yeah, if you ever want to try 2nd edition, it was a lot easier. THACO made things a lot easier than 1st edition. 1st edition just had those tables you had to look up every time you rolled, and that was just ridiculous.
And that would be pretty,
That's just clunky and not good. So, but THACO, not bad. 2nd edition, great.
We love 2nd edition.
Yeah. I think we've emphasized that enough. I think people know.
Really, if you think about it, the novels that we liked reading back in the 80s, like Dritz Duerden and the Crystal Shard and things like that, all that was probably 2nd edition based, was it not?
It came out during 2nd edition.
It had to be. So,
Now, he still writes. R.A. Salvatore's amazing, and he still writes. And I remember he had an assassin in there, one of the main characters, which I love. And assassin...
Was it Jaraxel?
No, he was a drow. Artemis.
Artemis.
So he was amazing because he's an assassin, an actual paid to hire, to kill somebody. Mm-hmm. And as D&D evolved, like after 1st edition, assassins didn't exist. So what I heard is that they gave him some grief about it, about including that guy in the book if it didn't match up with the current D&D. So I think he did a good job with that. He's evolved with the times. And I'd be terrible at it. That's why I didn't try to do anything like that. I just wrote my own book, my own world. But anyway, I think that's it, Brian, unless you have something else to say. I think we're good.
We were talking about R.A. Salvatore, and I remember several years back, you remember this because I remember showing you this, he was part of a system where they came out with a video game probably about 13, 14 years ago. It was called the Kingdoms of Amalur, and he wrote the whole lore for the whole video game, but the company went belly up. And so I found his Facebook page like 2014, 2015, something like that. And I wrote to him physically wrote to him on, messaged him. And he responded back. I'll have to show that to you if you remember that.
I contacted him too when I first wrote my book.
Did he respond to you?
Yeah, I sent him one of my books. Yeah. So he's a nice guy.
He is a super nice guy.
We didn't mean to get off on R.A. Salvatore. He's just amazing. So why not? Also, my shirt I wore today, Brian, was the Support THACO. Can you read it?
Yeah. You attempt to push the troll off the cliff, and apparently, if it would have been me, I would have wrote that one. Mm-hmm. And instead, you tenderly caresses scathing back. The troll is uncomfortable.
That's how we used to roll. had to have a really important role. That's what happened. One.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So like you said earlier, 20 always hits and one always misses.
Right, but we've had some exceptional roles too. Remember when Todd rolled that 17?
I remember. We got lots of stories to tell.
Oh man, that was amazing. I mean, I knew we were dead, but Todd saved it.
We'll go into that
Good
sometime.
job, Todd. Maybe
let's interview Todd at Geekapalooza.
Yeah, exactly.
See if he remembers.
Maybe next week you get to be introduced to him.
Yeah, so we'll have several videos out next week. We'll see. But anyway, I guess that's it for today, and hopefully Thaco's a little clearer for you. As always,
may the Ravens
forever heed your call. See you next time.
Later.